Say it live with Prince Michael. Say it live. ATL. Say it live with Prince Michael. Say it live. ATL. Say it live. Say it live. Say it live. Say it live with Prince Michael. Say it live with Prince Michael. Say it live. ATL. Say it live with Prince Michael. Say it live. ATL.
To Say It Live ATL. I am your host, Prince Michael. Before we get started this evening, I want to introduce my co-host. She is a very dear friend to my heart. Let's give a nice warm welcome to the beautiful Sabria. Hey there, beautiful. Hi.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Let's have a conversation, so let's have a seat. How are you doing this evening? Good, absolutely. Are you ready to get started?
I am.
Where's your wine glass? I feel like you're missing something.
There you go.
All right. If you haven't done so already, please grab your wine glass because this is going to be an outstanding ride. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. I want to talk to you all tonight about how SayItLive ATL came about. So my purpose of this platform is to tell you all about my life, to tell you exactly what I've been through so I can enhance your life on anything that you are currently going through. Your finances, your everyday life, your relationships with your friends and your family. Anything that you can possibly think of, I can help you with them through my life experiences. And that is the reason why truly I wanted to start this platform, is to reach out to everyone with my gifts that I want to continue to give unto you. Okay? So what else could you pretty much ask for? We're going to do interior decorating. We're going to cook in the kitchen. We're going to go on trips. We're going to do everything that Prince Michael loves. Because you know what? I want to share my life with you. So let's get started with the main reason I wanted to start SayItLive ATL. The main reason, Supriya, why I wanted to start SayItLive ATL is because of this one thing, which is called silence. Silence has worked for me in a great favor, but it also has worked for me in a not so great favor. And bringing this platform to you tonight is because because it did not favor myself. When I was growing up, I always was silenced. I was silenced because of the way I act, the way that I think, the way that I talk. Anything that I wanted to voice my opinion on, I truly could not because of the environment that I was around, that every time I wanted to step out and be my authentic self, people had silenced me for whatever those reasons are. So I know that you all can definitely relate to me. And you know what? Let's jump into conversation. In the segment of my talk show tonight, I want to go in those comments and I want to see what you all are saying because I'm doing this for you. So jump in that conversation and I'm going to look in those comments and we're going to continue to have this conversation. Moving back into silence, as I was growing up, as I just mentioned, I was silenced for a whole lot of things because of my sexuality, because of my intelligence, because I was black, because I listened to different music, because I wanted to study instead of going out, hanging out. Even when it came to committing crime, I chose to be silent because people, when I wanted to didn't want to do certain things, I didn't have an opinion in that matter. So Supriya, have you ever thought of yourself being silenced in any kind of way?
Oh, absolutely. Ethnically, I'm Indian, and already as women in our culture, and even women in general, but I think more specifically, women from Indian and Middle Eastern cultures, where silence just as being born as a woman in the family, and then once you marry into an Indian family, if you so choose, you are automatically sort of withheld back from having opinions, from wanting to maybe be ambitious at work. You're sort of put in this box of, now you're a mother, now you're a wife, you become property of your husband's family, and they will, unfortunately, a lot of times do a lot of things where your voice is not heard, because they don't want you to have an opinion. They want you to do what they want. It's a form of control.
Oh, that is very interesting that you say that, because it's absolutely going on today here in our society.
100%.
Being a man into the corporate world, even I was able to be silenced no matter what has been going on, as far as being able to have an opinion, to actually get in a leadership position in corporate America. I was silenced throughout that as well. But you know what? When you become being silent, that is a huge issue. And I'm telling you all on tonight, don't ever let anyone dim your light. SayItLive ATL is here because everything I'm going to talk about, I'm going to be authentic. It's going to be live, raw. I'm not hiding behind any trees or anything like that. Do not allow anyone to silence you. I have allowed a multitude of people to silence me throughout my life, and I stand here today letting you know, Prince Michael, Supriya, we are not silent anymore. I was silent until I moved here to Atlanta. It took me almost 30 plus years of my life not to be silent. And for that reason, I'm no longer silent. And that's just for the positive aspects of it. So let's talk more about, the negative parts of it, but let's talk more about positive things. Being silent is key. I love to give people the silent treatment. It truly keeps me from being negative to people in a way.
I could not agree more. I think there's definitely some value in picking your battles and knowing when to speak, when it's worth giving that person a piece of your mind.
Yes.
Versus just being silent and saying, you know what, they didn't matter that much anyway, so
Right.
let me just take a step back. I know we both have had to do that a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
Over the summer, especially
Yes,
when
yes.
we sort of were, experimenting with different groups of friends.
Absolutely.
Different groups of people.
Yes,
and
yes,
I think
yes,
that
yes.
we were both very good at sort of picking our battles.
Right.
Being quiet when it was necessary,
Yeah.
and then speaking our mind when it was also necessary, but doing it in a very classy way.
Absolutely. And you know what's Supriya? And you guys with SayItLive ATL, I had a hard time learning how to be silent. But you know what? Because I was so used to being silent, it hindered me from when I needed to be. But I'm going to tell you, once I learned that characteristic, I was unstoppable. And I'm going to give you an example. I had a friend over the summer that I'm no longer friends with. And I saw how this person truly was inside and out, how they treated people and things of that nature. So the best thing that I know I'm really great at, and I also challenge you to be great at as well, is when you have issues with somebody, just get out there and say absolutely nothing. The silent treatment, you guys, goes a very long way. Being silent would get those people to try to hold themselves accountable. Remember, I talked about accountability in one of our pre-shows. Accountability will have them thinking, you know what, Supriya, did I do something to you? I haven't talked to you or anything like that. I'm going to tell you, the silent treatment, you guys, will have these people going bananas. This individual that I'm speaking of truly went on a smear campaign, talking very derogatory about my name, trying to smear me, and you know what they was trying to do? They was trying to gain my composure, exactly what they was trying to do. But guess what? I was silent because I didn't want to project negativity, and when you're in a great place in your life, you do not want to indulge in that because it makes you a bad person to
100%.
even allow someone to even get you there.
100%. And I think there's so much power in saying nothing.
Yes.
Sometimes going off, yeah, you might the next day feel great, say, you know what, I got them, but there's so much more power and value
Yeah.
into doing and saying nothing.
Absolutely.
Let it go.
Yeah, let it go. And again, pick your battles,
Pick your
which
battles.
we did, right?
100%.
Yes,
100%.
indeed. Also, on a little bit more personal side, on today, we tend to be very vocal about certain things that we do in life. Being here on social media, you tend to see quite a few things, and don't get me wrong, I'm very vocal about things that I'm doing, but I think there's 3 things that we should definitely be silenced on. The most important thing is to not let anyone know any kind of moves you're making with your life. And the reason why I'm saying that is because you have so many people who sits right behind you, you guys, and literally will act like they are so loyal to you and they are planning your demise. They want to see you fail so they can say, you know what? We knew it. We knew that Michael was going to fail. We knew Supriya was going to fail. And this is one reason why I feel that the law of attraction is very imperative in anyone's life. When you tend to keep things to yourself and you tend to manifest things, positivity comes from that, and you tend to surround yourself with those positive mindsets
people.
Who are very supportive.
Exactly. You don't want to be the only person that's shining. You want to see your friends shine, your family shine. So I think that we created that atmosphere,
Yes.
especially in between us.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
And the second thing that I think you should keep silent, and again, I want you guys, hopefully you are chiming in those comments, because after this segment, I want to hear what you have to say. So what do you guys think about the second thing that you should keep silent, which is your love life?
This is a good one. This is a good one.
And the reason why I say that, I'm very private. No one truly knows who I've dated. Even my close family members have not seen truly who I've ever dated. And the reason why I say that is because, again, it goes back to people being malicious
Yes.
and planning for your demise. And I also think that if you're married, it's very nice to be vocal about your marriage. So that is an exception to the rule. Like if I was married, I think I would place it on social media or be very vocal and not silent about it. What do you think?
So, as a person who's previously been married, I've actually seen people sort of do both. But I will say I've noticed that couples who aren't doing so well, they tend to overcompensate on social media to let people know how well they are doing.
Right.
But they're really not doing so hot.
Oh, yeah. And what's funny about that is everybody waits on you to break up.
Yeah.
Especially on social media. Time and time again, as I'm going through my news feed, I see people who are with someone today and then 3 weeks later they're no longer there. And I always like to say that when you place things on social media, it's automatically a curse that your relationship is going to fail. And I don't know if that's true or not, but
I think that whenever you open your relationship up to people, even if they are your friends or they're not, you better be okay with like speculation. Even if you are married, if you go maybe like 2 months or a year or so without posting a picture of the two of you, your family's gonna start talking.
Yes.
Your friends are gonna start talking.
Oh, yes. And they're going to talk. Don't think that they're not talking.
Oh, honey,
They're going to talk. Especially if you got someone good. The justice. Did you see Supriya? Did you see Supriya?
100%.
Oh, yes, because they want what you all have. And to reel in this conversation, the last thing that I think you should be, my apologies, silent about is your income, okay? You have so many opportunities that are out here. I like to call them local jokers, opportunists. They love to hang on your coattail hangers. Me personally, I've been dealing with that personally my whole life with a certain caliber of people that I have in my life. well, they're not no longer in my life because I truly see that they're not for me. They're just for the material things that I tend to have. And that's my fault for being vocal and being able to introduce them to what my life consists of. Have you ever had that issue?
I would say that I was previously used to be around people that like to portray a lifestyle just to sort of maybe keep their families happy, to keep like other friends happy, but they really weren't internally happy. It was just more so like an Instagram sort of like a facade of things.
Yeah. And they also put on a facade to be loyal to you, and they truly not. They're just truly to see how much they can get out of you. Again, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Say It Live ATL will be back after a word from our entrepreneur sponsor.
Two snatch, that's the hair for me. Two snatch, that's the hair for me. Two snatch, that's the hair for me. Whatever mood you are in, we have you covered. Two Snatched offers premium hair extensions in Brazilian, Indian, Peruvian, and Malaysian hair textures. No matter the occasion, it's always time to be snatched. Go to my website at www.toosnatch.com and follow me on Instagram at 2snatchedofficial. What are you waiting for? Go get snatched. Two snatch, that's the hair for me. Two snatch, that's the hair for me. Two snatch, that's the hair for me.
Welcome back to Say It Live ATL with Prince Michael and my beautiful co-host, the infamous Sapria. Thank you again for coming.
Of course.
If you just joined us, you just missed out on a really great treat where we was talking about moving in silence, but also taking that silent treatment to your advantage and your disadvantage as well. So we talked about the disadvantages and how you can evolve them into the advantages of your life. So now let's talk about this one thing that I just struggled with this week. It's amazing. Yeah, get your wine, girl. Oh, wow, yes. And, you know, I struggled with this week. It's really crazy how the law of attraction works. Like, listen, I wrote this down maybe about a month ago. And just this week, it happened for me to be so fresh to talk about you guys about a real life experience.
Do you believe in like manifesting your own like dreams and goals? Like you write it down, so it'll like putting it out in
Absolutely, absolutely.
So honestly, that's something I'm sort of learning. It's nothing I've actually done like prior, but you guys, it works.
Oh, it works. The law of attraction works.
You need to like really say, okay, a year from now, I'm gonna make this much money, or I'm gonna get this job, I'm gonna get into this grad school, and like it happens.
Oh,
it
absolutely.
Really works. It's wild.
Listen,
it's truly wild.
I got introduced to to law of attraction through my my former best cousin. She introduced me to the law of attraction, and ever since she introduced me to the law of attraction, I'm gonna tell you, my life has completely soared. And I think it was because of my mindset, and finally I grabbed that from the universe, and the universe enhanced my life just because of the way that I thought. But let's talk about this right here. And I know you all are going to be able, you know what, before we even get started, let's talk about, let me go and look at these comments. I want to look at these comments. What did you guys truly have to say about the silent treatment? Do you actually move in silence? Do you feel like you have been silent your whole life, and finally you need to finally be able to be a little bit more vocal? Because I think you should definitely be vocal. Let's see what you all have to say.
I know for me, there were definitely times in my life where I wished I was more vocal, and then there are times where I'm sure the people around me wished I was silent.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes.
Definitely my family. I've always been the more like outspoken one, and especially like from the culture I'm from, women tend to be more passive, not as vocal.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm in a very interesting spot because I do tend to be more opinionated, be more vocal, and like I was saying, there were times that people probably wished I was stayed quiet, but I did not.
Yes, and you shouldn't. You should not have to stay silent. Donald Varese says, move in silence. Donald and I talk about moving in silence all the time. It is the best way to maneuver through anything if you truly do not share it with people. And not saying that you shouldn't. I share things with people I truly trust, and you have to trust them not only with just you, but also with your feelings, your thoughts, your anything. Absolutely, Donald. I'm giving my sister the silent treatment right now, says Delmika. And I'm going to tell you, Delmika, I love the silent treatment. I'm still giving 2 people silent treatments right now. The one I mentioned earlier in the segment definitely is tarnishing my name, but the other one, haven't even heard from them, and pretty much I don't have to. It's because they're not holding themselves accountable. And that silent treatment keeps us in a very positive place.
And like we were talking about earlier, I think that a lot of the times when you're, giving someone the silent treatment, it gives you time and space to like take a break. Mm-hmm. So the nasty things you might say to them, you're choosing to not. You're
Absolutely.
To take a break. Be quiet. Like be in your own thoughts instead of saying things that you can't apologize for.
Absolutely.
There are times where you can say things that are nasty. You can come back and apologize. Listen, apology not accepted.
Exactly.
Honey, apology.
I don't want an apology. What I want is accountability.
Exactly.
Give me what you're accountable on, what you're being accountable for the actions that you take. Apology just sweeps it up under the rug, and you end up coming to that same place again.
So honestly, to me, being silent or maybe giving someone the silent treatment when you're at odds is sometimes it's a smart thing to do.
Absolutely.
It's a smart thing to do, so you don't have to go back and apologize for things that you said when you were angry.
Absolutely.
And that is very hard.
Oh, very hard.
Very hard.
It's very hard to retract, but when you say things in anger, you truly mean those things. You've been manifesting it in you for so long that if somebody finally pushed your button and allowed you to finally bring it to surface.
So it's better to be silent in that case so you don't look like a fool.
Absolutely.
100%.
I completely agree. Brandon Patrice, I love you, Brandon Patrice. Oh my God. I've been a talker. I've always been a talker. I had to learn to be silent. I would tell everything, laugh out loud, but I had to learn how to keep things to myself. Brandy, we always had these continued conversations, and I'm going to tell you, you're very successful, and I think your success leads to enviness. We talked about this, and people, you can be so successful where, sometimes you have people in this world, no matter what they put their mind to, it turns into gold.
Oh yeah.
And they tend to not, everybody doesn't have that gift, that diamond. So I definitely accommodate you for even retracting and being silent.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's some power in people who, you know who you are. You're a go-getter. Everything you touch turns into gold. Sometimes it's good to sort of keep that to yourself because you don't know what intentions people have.
Absolutely.
It could be bad.
Right. Last but not least, we're going to talk about this thing here, and we're going to probably talk about this until the remainder of the show. Again, I experienced this week. Have you ever found yourself, SayItLive viewers, Supriya, Michael, who's in the background? Listen, we all have been accountable of this. Have we ever done this? Which is babysit people emotions.
Oh, this is
Listen.
This is a good one.
Just this week, I find it so funny, you guys, that I've been babysitting people emotions my whole entire life. I am the initiator. I'm always the one who's bringing people together. I am always the one who's worried about how another person views me. My friends, my family, my co-workers, everybody I can think of, I've been the victim, whereas I only worry about your emotions. I don't too much care about my own emotions. And when people allow you to do that, it's because they're selfish.
Yeah, and I also think it's a form of emotional abuse.
I think so.
I think like what a lot of people don't realize is if you're in a fight and you're focusing more on, well, instead of saying, I'm sorry, you're talking about, well, this is how you made me feel, and you go on and on and on, and you're focusing on yourself instead of trying to resolve the actual conflict.
Right.
And detracting from the actual issue.
Exactly.
That is not right.
No, it's not.
That is not how you solve a conflict.
It's not. And I'm going to go deeper than a conflict, you guys. You can have someone in your life whereas you always cater to them. It can be a friend.
Oh, yeah.
It can be a relationship. It can be your colleague. You can simply just ask your colleague. I'm going to give you a different example of each aspect. You can ask your colleague every day, Supriya, you and I are working together, and I ask you every day to go to lunch with me. You never reciprocated asking me to go to lunch. It's like, oh, I'm going to always ask Supriya to go to lunch. That is an emotional wreck. If someone cannot, if someone can't truly consider your emotions, you need to dip them over to the curb, because I'm going to tell you, I stand here before you tonight to tell you that I'm no longer babysitting your emotions. I don't care how you feel. And when I say I don't care, literally I do not. I always care about the well-being of your emotions. Do not get me wrong.
Yeah, those are two different things.
Yeah.
You can be sort of, removing yourself from a person emotionally, but it doesn't mean you still don't care about them as a person.
Absolutely.
We don't wish negatively upon anyone.
Yes.
We're just sort of stepping away from a person who is sort of harming us.
Okay, and absolutely. I have a family member. I always initiate things with them, and they do not initiate things with me. It's because they only care about their emotions. If someone says something to you out of anger, you are babysitting their feelings because they don't care two craps about yours. Or better yet, if you are always the initiator, I'm going to tell you guys, somebody out there has to relate. Get in these comments, you guys. Get in these comments, because I'm going to tell you something. If you are the initiator, and I know that Prince Michael is not the only one, if you are the initiator of 90% of the people you have in your circle, let them go. I'm doing it right now. One more thing I want to talk about is a personal experience. So last night, I was supposed to go to a birthday dinner. Mm-hmm. When I went, I was like, the law of attraction. At first, I was very excited about it. Then I started having conversations with the person that I was going to attend a dinner with. And I told them that, I'm getting ready for my show. This is my first episode. I'm very excited about it. But nevertheless, I was going to compromise because I love this person and attend the dinner. They didn't give two craps about what I was saying. Talking about, you need to make sure you bring me a gift and this, that, and the third. And I'm saying to myself, oh, wow, you're so selfish. Like, why should I have to worry about how you feel in that moment? I was also talking to a friend, Supriya, and SayItLive viewers, about someone who is very unhappy. You're being selfish to yourself. They've been in this marriage for 12 years, and guess what? They want to get out the marriage. They've been in this marriage for 12 years. 2 years of their life, they've been caring about this person's emotions and don't want to get out. Get out. Don't make yourself unhappy.
Yes.
Get out.
Definitely. Even though being in a marriage which you're unhappy, it's so much easier said than done to get out. But speaking from my experience, I was in a marriage where it was unfortunately emotionally abusive. You sort of get in that pattern of you constantly feel that you have to cater to to their feelings and you become addicted.
Absolutely.
As in me, I was addicted
Yeah.
to constantly catering to this person's emotions over and over and over again. We would fight, it would be his fault, but I would end up apologizing
Yeah.
for his mistakes.
Because you were babysitting his emotions.
Exactly, and I would like step away and be like, am I going crazy? Like, why am I apologizing when he screwed up?
I don't know, but guess what? You're no longer that person. Don't babysit no one's emotions. I'm gonna tell you guys, I am the emotion guru. I've experienced so many emotions, babysitting everyone else's emotions, but I'm gonna challenge you tonight is to take control of your emotions and stop worrying about everyone else's.
Put yourself first.
Yes, just simply do that. And you guys, I want to personally thank you again for joining me and Supriya here. Thank you, Supriya, so much for coming on.
I would love to come on anytime.
Oh, trust me, you will be back. I also want to give out more shout outs because I'm going to tell you guys, and I'm going to try not to get emotional here, but I have such a great supporter team. And I'm going to tell you, my team is not big. I first want to give the shout out to the person I actually sat down with and had 100 conversations with about doing this platform, Brandy Patrice. Words are, I don't even know what to say. You've been driving me to do a multitude of things, this being the main one. And I personally want to tell you in front of everyone, I love you, I cherish you, and thank you for having that unconditional loyalty for me. I also want to thank my immediate cousins who are watching on tonight. I just wanted to let you all know that you all make me so whole. Thank you so much. Thank you to my mentor, Tina Marie. I love you and can't wait till you come on my platform. I also want to give a great shout out to Michael Ingram. He's producing. He puts up with my crazy ways, and I personally want to thank him. Thank you to my sisters, Cynthia and Jackie. I love you guys. Y'all hear me talk all the time, and thank you for just standing behind your brother. But nevertheless, I want to thank you all tonight for joining me. I hope that you all have enjoyed this first episode of SayItLive ATL, and I'm gonna tell you, it gets heavier, and that roller coaster is gonna be full of excitement. But I'm gonna tell you this before I go tonight. If anyone hasn't told you they love you, Prince Michael loves you, and guess what? You only get one shot at life. Make it count. Good night, and I'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Say it live with Prince Michael. Say it live. ATL. Say it live with Prince Michael.